Welcome back to the Sustainable Parenting Workshop. We are on day 2, where we are here to be conquering anger. Ah, it is so frustrating. I know. I've been there and I hear this from so many parents. It gets so frustrating, right? When you start out the day, you're so excited to connect to your child. I mean, my podcast episode today that went live is about how to have deeper connection with your child. Like, we want to connect to our kids, and yet then it's so frustrating if it ends up that we're in battles and power struggles and emotional blowups and meltdowns, and then we blow up at our kids because it like grates on us, on our patience, and we get angry, and then we're like, I'm so bummed at myself. Excuse me. And maybe even like, I'm so mad that I'm repeating these cycles I swore I wasn't going to repeat. And today we're going to conquer this. There really is a key way to look at shifting a simple perspective with a simple tool that I have found to be the secret to less anger. And I'm really excited to share it with you today. Please give us an emoji so that we know that you're here. And as a reminder, I'm giving out free Starbucks coffee cards to 3 people each day who participate via making comments. So this is true for Instagram Live and for those that are watching here in our Facebook group. Make comments throughout the workshop when I'm asking questions. A, so that I know that you're here and we can connect more, and B, so that you get entered to win a coffee card. Our winners from yesterday from participating and sharing are Margot M., Kimberly McLaren, and Proctor Charlier. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here, interacting, and reach out to me in Messenger so that I can get your email to get you that coffee card. Also, I want to make a comment. If you haven't friended me here in Facebook, please do so, because there's all these restrictions. It's hard to get like content and tips and strategies to you. And we send out after this workshop monthly value to those that do friend me. So please be sure to do that as a part of this workshop. And lastly, if you haven't yet gotten your workbook, there is a partner workbook that helps you along the tips and tools that we're giving you. Just say the word workbook below, or send us a message, send me a message that says workbook, and myself or my assistant Fritzy will get that right away to you. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Jessica. So amazing to see you, ladies. We're so glad you're here. Again, check in when you're here. Send us an emoji so that we see that you're here, and it helps you be entered for a coffee card. You guys, yesterday we talked about the 3 key errors that keep us in cycles of struggle so that we aren't parenting smarter. We are parenting in ways that feel harder. And I forgot to end with the intention of wanting to tell you, and I just have to say, I got a little frazzled at the end because there was all this grinding noise, like a neighbor was cutting out concrete from their front yard, and it was just like distracting me a little bit. So I forgot to say one of the most important things I wanted to say yesterday at the end, which is, when you've identified those 3 key errors, have I been parenting from the neck up? Have I been pinballing? Or have I been asking the wrong questions? I want to invite you to let those things go. It's not about any shame or blame. It's about, oh gosh, if I can acknowledge and notice what hasn't been working, and that it's not about me. It's that those things just come from, I don't know, just like nature leads us down those trails. And so we can go, oh, but now I can learn that that doesn't work with kids. It's not my fault that I've been doing that. I just didn't really know of it any differently. And I'm now going to go a new direction. And here at Sustainable Parenting, we want to help you feel like so free and able to step into tools that are calm and confident, with ease, that it doesn't have to be harder. We can just do it smarter. So we're going to let go of those things that haven't been serving us. We're going to look at all the hours we've maybe spent in that error. Like, oh my gosh, I've spent hours some days like battling them, trying to explain it from the neck up, or I've spent hours being like, why are you doing this again? And now I'm going to step into some new tools and get that time back. Ooh. So today, when I give you things that I want you to try differently, if any like instinctive defensiveness comes up, like, oh God, I don't have time for that. I can't add in another thing to do. I want to tell you these tools are here for you because you've already told me you don't have time not to. Because the road is either you keep just putting out fires in those old habits that aren't serving you, you step back into old ways or even things that you've gotten from your parents, or you step into, I'm going to try something new so that it can save me time instead of taking me more time. So really shift your mindset on that. And you have the opportunity today to unlock way less anger. And guess what? It also comes with a side of it's because it leads to the kids listening better and being more cooperative. Really, Flora? Yes, really. So tell me below and what well, let me say this. Tell me below. I want to know if there was one key thing that gets you so angry most often. Is it siblings fighting? Is it kids blowing up, melting down? Is it the mess everywhere? Is it the clinging on your body? Is it the never being left a moment to yourself? I want to know. Put a comment. What is it that tends to push that anger button for you? And those of you watching in Instagram, sorry, I've got like two cameras here, so sometimes I'm not looking right at you, but I apologize for you. Abby says, the lack of cooperation when I need help. Ah, yes, Abby. Jessica says, when my kid does not listen to me related to a safety issue, like you need to hold my hand when we're walking across the street or in this parking lot. Yes, absolutely. What else? Our daughter doesn't listen, says Chelsea. She is 3 going on 14 and we're exhausted. Oh, girl, I feel you. I've got one of those. My daughter is like 7 going on 17, has a very strong personality that I know is going to serve her well and that she comes by naturally from me. She's like my little mini me. My husband says, like, is it hard to like experience a person with your personality? Yes. And thank you, Jessica, for commenting and relating. I want a reminder of that please, this isn't just from me to you. I want you guys to connect to one another. If someone shares something that you can relate to, like it, comment, give feedback. That helps a lot. Lauren says, feeling ignored, like I'm talking to a wall. Oh, girl, I know you're not alone. Others, please like Lauren's comment if you can relate to that. So here is the thing that nobody's been telling you. Nobody out there is telling you why these things keep happening and why they keep making you so angry. And I'm going to tell you today and tell you the solution. What you've been missing is that it's not about having more patience. If you have your workbook, I want you to fill this in. It is not about more patience. I bet that's what you've been telling yourself. I think I just need to be more patient when she's not listening to me and keep saying it a different way. I need to be more patient when they're not cooperating and just, wait for them. They're teenagers. No, I disagree. Here's what I want you to think about instead. The gateway to less anger is that you actually need more power. Hear me out here. I am not about authoritarian parenting. I'm not about top-down shaming, blaming, saying that we're just in charge. But there is a way to be powerful, meaning you have a sense of how to control the situation, get their cooperation, get them to stop fighting, get them to actually listen and not be seeming like you're talking to a wall in a way that's also loving and connected and kind. It's what I call sustainable parenting. It feels finally sustainable. I can do this. I'm not just totally spent at the end of the day. Like Megan said, oh, I can just feel sometimes like my bucket is just empty by the end of the day. or that it's just so exhausting to try to be constantly regulating their emotions. Chelsea, it's hard to control my anger. So it's about, of course we blow up when we don't feel a sense of control. That's our natural instinct. It's our body saying to feel chaos and out of control is scary. And when we're scared, we get angry. So you're not a mean mom. If you've been in this cycle between gentle, and then blowing up, what you're missing is this beautiful middle place where you have more power in a loving and connected way. And that's what I call sustainable parenting. That's what we teach in our CEO model. So let's give you the tools to be able to have more control. And one key thing I want you to think about, this is in your handout, this is very counterintuitive, but hear me out. If you keep finding yourself at the end of your rope with anger, it's likely that you need to shorten your rope. See, we can think, I'm blowing up, I think I need to be more kind. But in this balance between kindness and firmness, I have found over family after family after family that I've helped not rescue, it's not just me, but helped them together. We have healed this difficult thing that's so frustrating. We have solved this challenge of blowing up by when they keep losing their kindness, it's actually because they've been losing their firmness. Does that hit home? Give me a comment below. If you're like, yeah, I do. I lose my kindness when I've repeated myself 17 times, when I feel like I'm just talking to a wall and they're not listening, when I feel like they just keep fighting and ignoring me and, nothing I do is making a difference here. That's when I lose my kindness. It's because I blow up. But actually, that's probably because I'm not being firm. I'm not having follow through after the second time I've asked them to do something. Because I don't know how to do it, Flora. I'm just like, I don't know how to follow through. Or when I give consequences, they don't seem to matter. I see you. I get that. I know what is missing. And I know how we can fill in the gap. Lauren says, facts. She's feeling it hard. Yeah. Okay, so let's give you what else to do. When I made these changes with my son, like I told you that story of suffering in circles and just feeling so embarrassed in front of other parents, when I made these changes, it started to totally shift our relationship, feeling more positive, him listening better, him calming down better. Obviously, we're not going to solve it all in the next 10 minutes of this workshop, but we're going to get it started. And then once you start noticing if this vibes with you, this connects with you, we can keep getting you the rest of it. Just get in touch with me. We'll keep moving forward. So today, I want to give you a super effective 3 rules to start living by. So you're going to be less angry because you're going to have more firmness, and it'll lead you to have more kindness, not blowing up. Rule number 1 is we do not negotiate with terrorists. Hold on. If you're like, oh my God, that's harsh, Flora. Hold on. I know your precious human is just like the best thing that ever happened to you. You love them. They are like the cutest, most adorable, wonderful person. And what I want you to think about, though, is if they are in terrorist mode, they are using terrorist strategies, like just demanding or screaming at you, or saying, you need to do this for me, or they're just choosing to ignore you. They are, they are being really defiant. We do not want to negotiate in that moment. That's a moment I see a lot of top neck up parenting error happening. That's super ineffective. So don't step into those moments and try to talk a child down. Well, honey, how about if we try it this other way? And you're going to see this garbage in some of the gentle parenting advice that is totally not evidence-based. not with people who are licensed therapists. So hear me on this. I can promise you, it is important that we don't reward negative terrorist behavior with a lot of our attention by talking to them and naming their feelings in that moment when they're being really rude. So hitting, harming, screaming, I do not want you to negotiate with a terrorist because it just encourages more terrorist behavior. I'm going to give you the phrase that you're going to use instead in those moments at the end of our session. But hear me out. Tell yourself, I'm not going to negotiate with a terrorist. Please put a comment below if that's vibing with you. Like, I want to remember this. Write the sentence. Don't negotiate with terrorists. Because we don't negotiate with the terrorist behavior because it encourages more terrorist behavior. Okay. Kids are just trying to see how to get their needs met, their interests met. And if they have been screaming and you've, gotten them the candy bar at the grocery store, the next time you get so angry that they're screaming for a candy bar, it's not really on them, babe. It's on you. And I could say this to myself in the mirror. I've been in those moments where I'm like, the kids just have been not listening to me. And my husband's like, yeah, babe, it's not on them. It's on you. You have been like repeating yourself 17 times. You've been negotiating with their terrorist behavior. So that's why we're seeing more terrorist behavior this week. Yeah. Okay. Rule number 2 is we are going to shift where we spend our energy. We're not going to waste it putting out fires. We're going to spend it on prevention. Rule number 2, we're going to stop putting out fires and we're going to start spending our energy on prevention. This is that beautiful way we parent smarter, not harder. We get our time back when we do it in the right way. And here's what that looks like. I want you to make an agreement in advance about one area that you have been struggling. So, Abby, with your boys ignoring you when you've asked them to do something, is that maybe because you've had just like this agreement or this flow where you're always having to tell them what needs to happen? Put an agreement in advance. You guys, I don't want to keep battling you on these things. Like, new plan. You're going to have like 3 chores a day or 1 chore a day that you need to do for the family. And when that's done, then you have your tech time privileges or then you have your phone privileges. And that's just going to be the agreement every single day so that then when you're like, okay, guys, I see you reaching for your phone. Do you have your 3 things done? Totally different than like, hey, guys, could you please clean your room? Hey, could you please take out the trash? You're going to make an agreement in advance about what's needed in the day with a when then attached to it. Okay, same with I'm talking to a blank wall. Is it, hey, excuse me, maybe they're playing with a toy. I'm going to take that toy in my hands and say, as soon as those other toys are picked up over there, you absolutely can play with this toy. So I'm going to, use my actions, not just my words. And that would go better if I've made an agreement in advance. Guys, new agreement. I'm tired of us like getting all the things out in the playroom and then we're trying to put it away and it's exhausting. So new rule, when you're ready to play with something new, we're going to put away what we've been playing with. And then in the moment, we use our when then to enforce it, right? Hi, Amanda. I love seeing you. Lexi, great. Love seeing you. Yes. So when then, we're going to make some sort of agreements in advance, those areas where we've been battling, and use a when then so we have empowerment. And this is your homework today. I want you to think of something in your life where you've been struggling and you're going to come up with an agreement with your kids in advance. Maybe it's snacks. New plan. We're going to have like a solid snack at 3:00. After that, we're not having anything until dinner. Maybe it's mealtime. New plan. When we eat our, this is what we're having for dinner. And, if you end up getting up or you don't choose to eat it, like if you're hungry again between now and dinner, this is what is available. You're welcome to come back to your plate. So, and then you can have when thens. And when we have finished whatever amount of dinner, your family chooses is the right fit for you, then we will have a fruit snack. Or when you, for let's say bedtime, that's another key area where people have battles. We're going to have a routine. We get our jammies on, we get our teeth brushed, we go to the bathroom, and then we will sit down and have 3 books. Here's our when then. And when you do that quick and snappy, then you get to have 3 books. We'll have time for that. And when you don't, we might start losing books. So then in my reminders, I'm able to just connect. This is one of the key things that we're talking about here. This is one of my favorite models to help parents connect the dots. This is how we do kind and firm parenting. It's that we are just helping them to notice when they make happy choices, it leads to happy results. And when they make sad choices, it leads to sad results. Not just sad results of us yelling at them and being frustrated and doing all the whys, but like actual actions because we've agreed on it in advance. This just blows the top off of previous struggles. This can enable you to then feel empowered, knowing in the moment you have a plan. Like Molly said, oh my gosh, our bedtimes are so much better because I have a plan and I'm using that plan, and then I'm not like in this panic of, they're not listening and I don't know what to do. When we use our energy in prevention, thinking outside of angry moments, connecting to our kids, telling them those agreements outside of the angry moment, we're going to be way more likely to follow through in the moment. Way more likely. Okay. Jessica says, Molly, what does your bedtime plan look like? I'd love to learn from it. I will message you privately, Jessica, and give you all the details. Anyone else who's like, I don't know what to do for my when then or my challenging area, message me. I would love to help you with that. Okay. Rule number 3 is if they get upset when they meet that boundary, like, you're like, you guys aren't listening. I think we're going to only have time for 2 books. And then they keep horsing around. Okay, 2 books. And they get upset. Our rule is we do not react to their reaction. We do not react to their reaction. Meaning we're not going to be surprised. Like, how dare you not be listening? It's like, of course you're not listening. It's a child's job to test rules and boundaries, to see what happens when they do. It's our job to show the boundary. So, okay, you wanted to see if I really meant it, and I do. So, yep, we're down to just 2 books now. Let's see if we can get it back together so that we have at least those 2 books, or we might be moving down to 1. That's kindness and firmness at the same time. We're not going to get angry at them that they pushed to see if that was really going to be the result. We're just going to kindly and firmly hold the result. So I said at the end of this session, I would give you the powerful way that you can most effectively hold that. And this is my favorite phrase I want you to use today. I love you, and the answer is no. If you're someone who's been getting angry a lot because you just tend to want to just like crack the hammer down or the whip and just be like, this is what's happening because there's an authoritarian, blood in you that just goes that way. This is going to soften that. I love you, and then hold your boundary. Not but. Remember this. It's and. I love you, and we are now only having 1 book. I love you, and this is what we have to eat until bedtime. And if you're someone who struggles and wants to give in or give another reminder, this is going to help you have more firmness. I love you, and I'm holding this boundary. Instead of, I love you, so maybe, okay, I do want to give you that thing. Or give in and, okay, we will just still do 3 books, but tomorrow, no. I love you, and. Okay, friends? So your homework today, there's going to be a post in Facebook saying, what was your power moment today? Share it. I want you to step into your lives right now, whether you're watching this live or in the replay, go use this these tools you've learned today about the when, then, the two roads, that I'm not negotiating with the terrorist. I'm going to use I love you, and the answer is no. And share with us what happens. Because I know this has the power for you to have a very different experience today in feeling like that calm, confident mom that you have been wanting to be, and seeing likely way different behavior from your child. And then, friend, don't miss coming tomorrow where we're sharing the best question that really ends your daily battles. Thank you, friends, for being here. We will see you tomorrow.